Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of VTR's Film Chats, the brand new series under the After Hours. And we are joined here by our first guest, Victor Reznov.
Hello, everybody.
And if you're wondering what this series is, it's just literally going to sit down and talk about a movie for a little bit. And let's just go ahead and get into it. So, Victor, what movie have we chosen today?
The Orphan, the 2009.
Orphan.
Not the prequel.
Okay.
The Orphan sounds better than just Orphan.
Yeah, the thing is, though, a lot of time with movies nowadays, you got to be really specific because a lot of movies are kind of changed. Because, like, literally, you got a movie called Suicide Squad and The Suicide Squad, and they're completely different movies.
That is a fair point, yeah.
All right, so first things first, Victor, why did you choose this movie?
Well, whenever you told me to pick, like, any movie to discuss about, Orphan, like, out of all the movies I've seen, Orphan, which for one specific scene, was one of the only movies that actually got me uncomfortable.
All right.
Specific scene.
All right, so...
The story is also pretty good, and I didn't, like, the plot twist I didn't see coming.
So, I guess let's go ahead and talk about what the movie's about, I guess. I guess I can start. Orphan being about this family who lost the child in birth, and they go to adopt a kid to kind of fill that hole and to save their marriage and everything too. And they adopt this kid, and they learn that there's more to her than there seems, and also she's a murderous psychopath, and there's also a big twist, which we'll get into later. So
another thing, she's Russian, so of course she's a psychopath.
Okay, so what makes you interested in this movie, Victor?
Well, I mean, most like horror movies, right? Like the killer would be like some big dude, right? Like take like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, for example. You know, they're usually big, but the threat this time isn't like some big dude. As a matter of fact, it's rather the opposite, a small girl.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a very interesting way they do that. And the fact that the actress is actually played by, I believe, a 12-year-old is crazy. And she plays this complex character very well.
Yeah, I mean, especially with that one scene I was talking about, you know, I mean, it's kind of surprising that she's able to pull that off, I guess you could say.
Exactly, because that actress, she has to do a lot of things like you would not expect to see like a 12-year-old be able to pull off in this movie. And that's one of the craziest things about it. I think the movie really succeeds in a lot of places.
It does have some flaws, though. I mean, like every other movie, it has flaws, but
well, that's a good place to lead into. What is something you don't like about the movie? Without spoilers, we'll get into spoilers in a minute.
Like a spoiler, I guess.
Without spoilers.
Well, I mean, remember you said not. I was like, without getting into spoilers, that's a bit hard. But I mean, I guess like one thing could, I mean, I guess you'd say is a bit of a cliche of just how like the killer is like can like take a bunch of like, I guess you can say like damage, is like really enduring. Because I mean, keep in mind, you know, it's somewhat of like a body of a 12-year-old. Like they wouldn't be able to take like what they took in the movie, like, you know, almost drowning, for example.
Yeah, a lot. She does take a lot of beatings and a lot of. That's also a thing with like horror movies and stuff. Like you kind of like when it comes to your horror antagonists, you like think like, yeah, they may not be able to take a lot, but like
but they're still human.
They take it, like they gotta up it to make it interesting, because obviously you can't have like literally just like kick the freaking thing in the face and they get knocked out or something like that and they won't get back up. Like no one wants to see that. They want to see the killer actually be stronger than they would normally be.
I mean, there are some examples that executed that well of like you know, having like a they don't take a lot of beatings, but at the same time, there was multiple movies like oh, what was that movie called? Like it was like an experiment in an office where like everyone had to like kill each other.
The
That
Belko
movie I'm talking about?
experiment.
Yeah, the Belko experiment. Like that one executed it well and not having the cliche of just, oh, that dude's overpowered, they're all dead.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So what was like one of your like favorite things about this movie? What is we can I guess we can kind of get into spoiler territory, I guess, a bit. If you guys haven't seen the movie,
Hmm.
go watch it. um
Yeah, because I'm gonna start spoiling.
so
But
what is
one of the favorite.
what is your favorite thing about this movie?
Well, I mean, I guess you can say it's like a small thing, but just like I guess you can say like the symbol she used of like her being like Russian, like how she did like Russian roulette, use a hammer and sickle and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a small detail, but I liked it.
Yep, very.
And I guess like another favorite thing is just how I guess some kills are executed. Like oh, I forgot what that kid's name that like fell out of his like fire or fell out of his treehouse because it was burning.
Uh-huh.
Like that kid, which honestly he kind of had it coming, but um,
All right, I guess we could probably
the
get into.
mother was also.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say the mother was also a good character.
I guess we get into a little bit of spoilers. The big twist of this movie. What did you think of that big twist? What went through your mind when you first saw that movie and that was like, what the heck? And you learn like who this character actually is.
Well, whenever I figured out that she wasn't a child and was a matter of fact older than me, um, I mean it did make some like sense after I was thinking about it, like because what 12-year-old would first kill? What 12-year-old would set a treehouse on fire? What 12-year-old knows what Russian roulette is? Because I mean, when I first saw that, I was just like, "Oh, it's just the internet. Kids pretty much know everything." But then,
This is 2009 though. This is 2009.
yeah, yeah, 2009. But I mean, there was the thing I was still somewhat just like thinking, "Oh, it's a possibility." But then whenever I figured out I was 32, which also made sense whenever like whenever she got real close to the dad and was like, trying to get the dad
Yeah.
like, getting like
Yeah.
drunk and stuff.
That was
Then it made sense. I was like, "Oh,"
also though,
which I was a scene that made me uncomfortable.
that was a very uncomforting scene to watch. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like I was like, ew, and like,
I was like, no, no, gee, please
this is like,
don't.
no, this is weird. Then watch.
I was just like, come on. Oh, I was like, come on, Dad, snap out of it. You're not gonna do this with your own daughter. No, no, you ain't doing this.
I
Like,
it's this movie really knows how to play with your mind when while you're watching it. It really knows how to play with your
mhm,
mind, and it's just
mhm,
really interesting to think about like
yeah,
where this film goes, and it's very unique in the fact that like especially at the end when they actually reveal that she's a older an adult, they do a really good job at
mhm,
kind of de-age or aging her up with like the teeth and the makeup and all of that. I think
yeah.
it's
How
like,
like
yeah,
she took all the makeup off.
yeah, which is a very interesting way of doing this type of we've seen movies with killer kids and stuff like that. We've seen
Yeah,
stuff like Children of the Corn and a whole bunch of other stuff. Um,
that's what I was about to mention. Children of the Corn.
uh, we've seen so many movies like that, but this is different because, like, oh, it's just another killer kid story. But no, it's a person that's got like this deformity that makes them look like they're
Hmm.
freaking 12. Or not 12, but like I think it's supposed to be like I don't remember how old she's supposed to be in the movie. I think she's supposed to be like 10 or something, or
I think.
I don't remember how old the
I'm pretty sure
character.
it was 12.
No, the actress was 12, but I think she's supposed to be playing like a 8-year old or a 9-year old or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, either way, child's a child.
It's still it's such an impressive role to pull off, and the kills in this are actually. What do you think of the kills?
The kills, I mean, they were all right. Like I've seen better kills, but I mean, that's not like the worst. It's like in the middle ground. But as I mentioned before, the treehouse one was pretty good.
And see the way that they try to they mess with the mom in the movie, like how she like literally gets everyone to turn against her, is like, especially after the scene
Yeah,
where she slaps Esther in the hospital. Like,
yeah, and then she gets like a shot to not put her down, but like put her to sleep so she doesn't
uh-huh.
slap.
It's like, dang, but you can understand like why the mom's doing that, even if she is a little girl. You can still understand like why
Yeah.
she did that. Because at this time in the movie, we
Hmm.
still don't know that she's a adult. We still think she's a little girl.
Yeah.
And like
Hmm.
this woman goes and smacks the heck out of this girl freaking. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it was a bit, even if it's a child, it was still slightly justified.
Well,
Because,
yeah.
well,
But from an outsider's perspective, they have the whole how Esther has everything turned against her. It's really
yeah,
crazy because like her entire end goal is to get with her husband.
yeah, which, and then, which honestly, I mean, speaking of that, like, I don't know if it explains it in the newer movie, but like, why does she, like, always, like, try to seduce the dad of the family?
I don't think it
Like,
was.
why does she do
I
it?
don't think it was explained.
Like, I mean, I was like, oh, that's interesting, but why?
Yeah, I just think I don't
Like,
know. It's just really weird to think about, though. The movie it plays your expectations a lot, which is what I like
hmm
about it.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't really have much expectations because I'm still a bit new on like watching horror movies. But I mean, it was a pretty. I still have to say it laid in like I guess you can say an impression
Yeah,
because how were
you,
things
you,
executed.
you chose it for your movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the first horror movies I watched, and it was a good one.
All right, so I think I should probably just ask this. This is one of the probably the most important things about this. Not a kill, but what is like your favorite part of the movie? Like not a kill, but like I feel like I may have already asked
My
this, but
fa-
but
uh, no, you didn't. You asked about kills, but my favorite part of the movie. I mean, it's probably like or like in the I guess you say like the finale whenever the mom and Esther started fighting like
uh-huh.
and they're like final. It was like kind of like that. I guess you could say it's like a cliche like final girl like thing
Eh,
because they were running all around the house while Esther's trying to kill her
kill.
and
Yeah.
but it was
It,
still pretty interesting.
it's a very interesting take on the slasher formula.
Hmm.
Okay, so I guess normally when I review movies on my YouTube channel, I rate movies out of 5. So I guess I'm going to ask that with every guest. What would you rate this movie out of 5?
I would honestly give it like either like a 3.5 or a 4.
Hey, that's really good. That's a really good way. Uh, f- for
Hmm.
this series, I'm not going to give my rating because I'm going to say those when I do actual reviews of them, or if I've already done reviews of them, you can go watch those reviews. I have
I was
already reviewed
I was gonna
Orphan.
say, didn't you do a review of Orphan?
Yes, I have already reviewed Orphan. So now we're gonna go into what I think is gonna be the fun part of this show. We're gonna go
We're gonna
around
go
in
ask
the
random people.
if they've seen the movie and what they think about it. So you've seen the movie Orphan, right?
Yes,
So what do you think of the movie?
it was good. I mean, yeah, it was good.
All right, thank you. All right, we scoured the rec center and found one person that had seen the movie. They didn't really have much to say about it.
I guess the Orphan isn't or Orphan, not the Orphan. Good Orphan. I guess either way, it's not popular. Ain't that tough?
It's a more obscure horror movie. I think it's not one of the ones that everybody knows.
Yeah. Like Suicide Squad, like Jared Leto.
All right, so we thank you for tuning in for the first episode. And I will see you guys in the next episode. We appreciate it. We will be having more episodes come out. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Wait, can I say one curse word?
No.